Thesis 1. Aggressiveness manifests itself in an experience that is subjective in its very constitution. It is, in fact, useful to reconsider the phenomenon of psychoanalytic experience. In trying to get at the basis, reflection upon this is often omitted. It can be said that psychoanalytic action develops in and through verbal communication. That is, in a dialectical grasping of meaning. Thus, it presupposes a subject who manifests himself verbally in addressing another subject. It cannot be objected to us that this latter subjectivity must be null and void, according to the ideal physics lives up to. Eliminating it by using recording devices, though it cannot avoid responsibility for human error in reading the results, only a subject can understand a meaning. Conversely, every meaning phenomenon implies a subject. In analysis, a subject presents himself as capable of being understood and is, in effect, introspection and supposedly projective intuition are not the a priori vitiations that psychology, taking its first steps along the path of science, believed to be irreducible. This would be to create an impasse out of the moments that are abstractly isolated from a dialogue, whereas one should instead trust in its movement. It was to Freud's credit that he assumed the risks involved before overcoming them by means of a rigorous technique. Can his results ground the positive science? Yes, if the experience can be verified by everyone. Now, this experience, constituted between two subjects, one of whom plays in the dialogue the role of ideal impersonality, a point that will require explanation later, may, once completed, its only conditions having to do with the capability of this subject, which is something that may be required in all specialized research. He begun anew by the second subject with a third. This apparently initiatory path is simply transmission by recurrence, which should surprise no one, since it stems from the very bipolar structure of all subjectivity. Only the speed at which the experience spreads is affected thereby, and while it may be debated whether the experience is restricted to the region in which a specific culture reigns, although no sound anthropology can raise objections on that score, all the indicators suggest that its results can be relativized sufficiently to become generalizable, thus satisfying the humanitarian postulate inseparable from the spirit of science.